Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to be covering two different stories dealing with guys who ended things with their girlfriends because they gained a ton of weight and wouldn't do anything about it. And in one particular story, the longer one, it got so bad that she actually started really losing it and actually got physical with him. And there'll be a good one to go over here, guys. Two good ones to go over here, really making the point that if you're a guy that really works hard to take care of yourself, you're dedicated to getting the workouts in, eating healthy and all that, and your girlfriend has let herself go, and you've been patient and kind, and yet she doesn't care and just lets herself go, and you're losing attraction for her, there's a point that do not ever feel bad about ending the relationship with her because you're taking care of yourself, you're being dedicated, and you know what? It's not your job to fix her or save her and all that. And why should you be with someone you're not attracted to, who doesn't care about you and what you want, by letting themselves go? And I might add, yeah, a lot of these people that are like this have depression problems and all that, but if they're not willing to do anything to help themselves, there's a point you gotta walk away. Now, the first story, it's a shorter one, is about a guy who deals with this and just finds out she's really deceiving him. And the main event is a better story. So this first one's titled, Am I the A-hole for breaking up with my girl for gaining weight and we agreed to get healthier? Now he says here, my ex-girlfriend was overweight and I was an average but not fit guy. On one date, we both said that we should become healthier. So we set goals to exercise more and to improve our diets. We don't live nearby, so we wouldn't go to the same gyms. I started going to the gym almost daily. I really wanted to become healthier, but also wanted to encourage her to lose weight. She told me that her super athletic friend was training her and helping her diet. Okay, that's great. She agreed to all this. Her friend's helping her. What could go wrong? Within 4 months, I'd improved physically a lot more than anybody had ever expected. She gained more weight. I didn't find her physically attractive anymore. Well, wait a second. If she's training with her friend and all that, she should be improving somewhat. How is she gaining a lot of weight? I asked her friend what they did at the gym, and her friend told me that they didn't go to the gym together. She had apparently never trained my girlfriend. When we went on dates, it would be our cheat days, so we'd be eating unhealthy foods. Apparently, she was still eating badly almost every day. So on top of the fact that she's gaining more weight and he's losing more physical attraction to her, she's lying to him. Now, I know people could jump in and say she's got depression problems and all these things there and giving excuses, but at the end of the day, that's not a healthy relationship. Well, I met my girlfriend, broke up with her for lying to me and getting unhealthy. I don't blame him. A lot of people are telling me that I'm an asshole for breaking up with her because I should never have tried to make her lose weight, plus by lying to get me to get healthier. So, we're not done yet. So, of course, people labeling him the a-hole here. You know, she broke up with him for far less things nobody have a problem with. When a guy does it, particularly about the weight thing, holy crap. And in the era of body positivity nonsense, which a lot of these bodies aren't very positive, leading to major health problems, any guy that would do that is evil. Well, he tried to work with her, and he is allowed as a man to have certain standards. I know, many of you guys are well aware that men aren't supposed to have standards, only women, but he's allowed to have standards. He's making the effort, he's being disciplined about the food, and she's making a fool of him. He got even bigger, and he lost, and she wouldn't lose anyway. She got bigger, and is lying to him. So he has a right to end it with her. Now, he also says, extra info, he says, I didn't want to post this. I didn't want to turn this into a fat-shaming thing, or fat-hating thing. I'm happy that I've gotten healthier, and I guess by thinking we were both doing it to improve things, and I'm continuing to go to the gym. This was a relatively short-term relationship, only 10 months. The reason for this situation irritating me the most was that she lied to me and didn't put any effort into it. But she told me she was. If she told me from day one that I don't want to do this, then it wouldn't be an issue. Well, it would have been an issue, and you would have broken up with her. The fact that she was telling me that she had a friend training her made me think she was dedicated to it. I'm not a perfect looks don't matter type of guy. Losing physical attraction to her did matter. There were other issues for breaking up, but I consider this to be a serious one. She told me the reason for not being straight up is because she liked that I was getting healthier and more attracted to her. How does that make any sense? She liked that he was getting more attracted to her, but she was putting on the pounds, becoming less attracted to him. What kind of deal is that? That's what you deal with. Now, don't get me wrong. There are guys out there that like big girls, very big girls. To each their own. Okay, well, she could be with one of those guys. But this guy here who likes thin, fit, healthy-looking women, he deserves that. Now we're on to the longer story here, more what's going on, how this guy really tries to help his girlfriend, because she's got problems, and finally, enough's enough. Titled, Am I the A-hole for breaking up with my girl when she got fat? And then shout out to AM for sending this story. He says, I broke up with my girl of 4 years about 5 months ago for being too, She was always slightly above average weight. Never bothered me, been with bigger girls before. She had the most beautiful smile I'd ever seen, incredible charisma, thoughtful, generous, hilarious, wicked smart, and all the things I wanted in a life partner. He just said wicked smart. I bet he's from the Northeast. He's from New England. We were great together. She was my first love and honestly thought we'd always be together. We had planned our lives together, laughing at the drama of other couples. It was paradise. I was so effing happy. Happier than I ever thought I deserved to be. But in the last 2 years, her weight really ballooned up, going up to the size 20 or 22. He says, Lord knows I wasn't brave enough to ask her exactly how heavy she was. She developed health problems because of it, and her positivity and the smile I fell in love with disappeared. Did he just say that she developed health problems because of being so overweight? Gee, that's something the body positivity yahoos don't seem to mention. Yeah. Any doctor can tell you that it's not going to go very well, but remember, facts don't matter, only feelings. I'm being sarcastic here. Those health problems and constant negativity and attitude stemming from her weight began to affect our relationship. It affected all the other things that attracted me to her in the first place. Her confidence, her positivity, her motivation. It wasn't just the weight, it was everything that came from it. Okay, so the terms and the dynamics of the relationship has changed. And when that changes, a guy has a good right, as a woman does, to evaluate the situation, determine whether they want to stay in said relationship. Well, watch, this guy does try to help her. Her best friend was a personal trainer who gave her free personal training sessions, free meal plans, everything, so she had all the tools at her disposal and was better placed than anyone I knew to lose the weight and keep it off. I know this sounds like the other story, guys, but it's not the same story. It came down to this. She wouldn't look after herself. She wasn't willing to do anything about it and was the biggest burden. I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I tried talking to her, but it was always construed that I was being unreasonable or deliberately trying to hurt or upset her and make her feel bad. The thing is, this guy's not trying to hurt her. He's making her aware of reality. There's the health aspect and how she's changed dramatically, and the physical aspect that has killed his attraction for her. He could have just ended it right then and there, walked away. There are guys that would, but he didn't do that. He's trying to help her. But of course, so many people will take this issue as him being the bad guy here. Because it's easier to make a guy like this, the boyfriend, the bad guy, than to admit that she has problems. But you know about women and accountability. Every time I broached the subject, I was met with denial and anger. I would always apologize because I felt awful for making her feel bad. Smack! Own it. Don't apologize. I tried motivating her. I got a gym membership, went with her, and followed her many diet plans. It very quickly became that I was going by myself and coming home to her on the sofa, eating something unhealthy. Now, people could probably say that she is deeply depressed. It's a vicious cycle, which usually this is. But it takes real strength to admit you got a problem and to get off your ass and do something about it. But a guy like him, who obviously is a go-getter, makes things happen, he's wasting his time with someone like this. You know? I was going to the gym so much because I didn't want to be at home sitting next to this miserable person who was expected never to criticize and be okay with it. I was physically repulsed to touch her. We had sex maybe twice in that final year. Guys, you know it's bad when it's twice in a fucking year. They so turned off by her. Her parents tried too, cooking very healthy meals when we would visit them, cutting all sugary treats out of the house, even when she wasn't there. But every day she'd want a takeaway or something unhealthy and guilt trip me into getting it. So even the parents know it's a problem. So it isn't just him. When I said, you get what you want, I'm having a salad, I was the bad guy because I was being fat with her. Or I wasn't being fat with her. This is also an example, guys, you need to be around people. We're the average of the 5 people we hang out with. So you got to be around people that if you want to be healthy, fit, all that, you hang out with people that are like that. But if you hang out with people that just eat like crap, drink all the time, gain weight, all that stuff, don't exercise, eventually it's going to rub off on you. Tomorrow never came, ever. She would always be saying, as of Monday, I'm really going to try, but for the weekend, just let me enjoy myself. That became every weekend, and when Monday came, it was, I had an awful day at work, I want to curl up with pizza and TV. I got to the stage where she would say, I know I say this all the time, but this time it will be different. This time I'm going to try. But she wouldn't, skipping the gym because she felt sick or wasn't in the mood, or I'll double up tomorrow. So this is not going to work. This guy's been beyond patient. I know some people would say he's not being patient, but believe me, he's sticking around. That says a lot. But remember, guys, he said he got laid twice in 1 year. There are guys out there that would have dumped her right away or cheated on her. I stopped believing her, but still, if I saw her making any effort, I praised and supported her. It was always short-lived. Here's the caveat. In an attempt to make her take the issue seriously after months and months of trying to talk to her and getting rebuked and maybe get her to appreciate how I felt, I told her it had crossed my mind to break up with her, that I really wasn't happy and that I was willing to work on our relationship and do what I could do to make it better. In hindsight, not my best move, but honest to God, I don't know how to get through to her. Well, he has to play hardball at this point, you know. A lot of people in situations like hers, women and men, or anybody having a thing in life that's bringing them down, they have to hit rock bottom before they're going to make change. Hit the wall before they make change, you know. And a lot of people, as a former personal trainer, had to have a major hellscape before they got off their asses, yes, I said that, and made a change. That's why back when I was a personal trainer, most of my clients were their late 30s, 40s, and 50s because usually they had some kind of health scare. It all unraveled after we came home from visiting my parents a couple weeks later. She was moaning about wanting something to eat for the plane and asked me to get her something from the vending machine. I refused. The vending machine, yeah, that's a great idea. She got her own money, and the machine was about 10 steps away. Considering we had a large breakfast about an hour ago, and we were about to start boarding a plane for a 20-minute plane flight. She goes off and really overreacted, and when her parents picked us up at the airport, she started chewing me out in front of them. It was at a point I realized I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care what her parents thought of me or how upset I'd made her. Dude, you should never put up with... I would have walked away, and I would have booked another flight and gone home. After everything I did to help her, I wasn't even allowed to say no to her when she wanted to get me to get her food. They say the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, and that was I was like, it felt like at that moment. We got home, and long story short, words were exchanged, and she smacked me upside the head. Now she's getting violent with him? Unacceptable. It didn't hurt, but hard enough to knock my glasses off. That was the final straw. We broke up that night, and I moved out that week. I got my own place and a new job, so I'm doing great. Looking back, all I can say is she wasn't fulfilling a need for me, and obviously wasn't fulfilling a need for her. Any questions, fire away. Now he's going to do an update here, but he went above and beyond the call of duty. But of course, there are people in the comment section that he's the bad guy. There are people that think that literally this guy should just be with her forever and be infinitely patient, not getting laid, not having his needs met, being with an unhappy person. That's bullshit. And I know most of you guys know this. As an update, he says, thanks for the feedback, everyone. I appreciate your honesty. Going to reach out to her to see how she's doing. Smack. Dude, I'm going to smack your glasses off your head. Why are you going to reach out to her? She struck you. That's unacceptable. Seriously, bro. You're too nice. You've done enough. Some of you said that she was suffering from depression and subsequent weight gain was a symptom of it. While I agree, I also think it was the thing holding her back, and had she lost the weight, she would have felt better. One affected the other kind of thing. Well, I do think if she lost a bunch of weight, she probably would have felt better, and it would have been a positive cycle, but that wasn't the case. Obviously, I'm inherently biased towards myself. Think I lost my critical eye as I wrote it. I wasn't an easy guy to live with and certainly had my own issues and stuff going on. The main reason I posted is because none of our mutual friends reached out to me afterwards, so that was a big red flag that I was in the wrong, but you guys helped me get some closure, so thank you very much. And there were a bunch of comments, but I decided I'm not going to read them. But the point of the whole thing is, and by the way, there were a lot of people that said initially they thought he was the villain here, but they read his story, they actually read it, and realized that no, he really tried. But there are other people there, like women in the comment section, who still say he's the a-hole. Basically, he should have been infinitely patient. She had depression. Basically making fucking excuses. So the point about the whole thing is here, guys, you know it's bad when she's smacking him. You know it's bad that he's hooking up twice a year. Maybe she wanted to sleep with him more often, but he didn't want to because he was so turned off by her. So gentlemen, if you're in a situation like this, and if your girl has been a good girlfriend, she's positive, loving, affectionate, trustworthy, honest, all these positive things, and she's packing on the pounds, okay, I'm okay with being patient and trying to work with her. And if she's making an effort, okay. But if it's like this story, you got every reason to pack up and go, especially if it changes her whole personality attitude. Life is short. And I might add, guys, we know darn well that women will break up with guys for far less and not feel bad about it. But when it comes to the whole weight gain thing, especially in this era of the whole body positivity crap, which is starting to die now, thank God, because woke has basically become a joke, you know, that definitely, people see things differently. So, guys, there you go. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, if you find a good story you want me to cover, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.